Oh my god, do you have any idea how hot it is in the Philippines right now? If you hear a whirring sound in the background, that is my air conditioner, and I am so sorry about the noise, but I just cannot survive without it right now. Like the heat, without it, my room is like a sauna. Okay, hi! I'm Cherry and you've stumbled upon my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my May TBR. I'm going to collectively call this video my May TBR because I will be joining 3 readathons, 2 of which are related to the Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, which involves reading a ton of Asian books. And honestly, this May, I am going to be reading nothing but Asian written books, which isn't really a problem for me, considering I'm always inclined to read books written by Asians more than anything else. But yes, the books on this list are some of my high priority books written by Asian authors. The first readathon I will be joining will be the Asian Readathon, which I joined last year, and I got a ton of reading done last year when I joined the Asian Readathon, so I was really anticipating joining it again this year. It's hosted by Read with Cindy, and I'm not going to discuss too much of it because there are a ton of things to talk about, but I will be linking Cindy's announcement video and all the other resources, including the Google Docs, where you can find literally everything about the Asian Readathon. I will also be joining the Stan Asian Authors Readathon, which is hosted by 2 Filipinos, Kath and Eunice. I'm going to be linking their Twitter accounts down below, including the Twitter thread where all the information is included, including the book prompts that they have prepared. Both Asian-inspired readathons will be held in the whole month of May, so there's still a lot of time for you to join. And finally, I will also be joining the 72frightathon, hosted by Jane from the Bookaholic and Dany from danymariereads. Basically, the 72frightathon is a 72-hour horror readathon held on May 7th to 9th, so over this coming weekend. Even for the 72frightathon, I will be doubling up on all these prompts, and since I will be reading only Asian authors this month, I've got some horror books and thrillers prepared for the 72frightathon written by Asian authors as well. Now, without any more further ado, let us get on to the books because there are a lot to talk about. I think I have like 15 books on my TBR, and I don't plan to actually get to all of them, but I have become a really terrible mood reader, so these books are only included so that I have a lot of options to choose from. Let's start with the Asian Readathon TBR. There are a total of 5 prompts, and I have 2 books for each prompt. By the way, each book on this list are written by an Asian person of different ethnicity. So I have a total of 10 books, which also equals 10 different ethnicities, because each prompt only counts if you read from a different ethnicity, and I want to read as diversely as I can. So anyway, for the first prompt, it is read any book written by an Asian author. The first book that I have for this is The Popular by R.F. Huang, who is Chinese. I think a lot of people already know what The Popular is about. It's like everyone's favorite book, and all I know about it is it's a fantasy inspired by the Opium Wars in China. And then for the first prompt, I also have All My Mother's Lovers by Ilana Masad, who is Israeli. All I know about All My Mother's Lovers is it's about a girl whose mother dies, and then along with her mom's will, there's like 5 sealed envelopes all addressed to a different guy. So I think she embarks on this like road trip so she can deliver the letters personally to each of these mysterious men. And then for number 2, it is read any book featuring an Asian protagonist. And for this one, I have 2 novellas. And the first one I've already read last May 1 to kick off the month. And it's The Terracotta Bride by Zen Cho, who is Malaysian. I don't even know how to like explain the plot of this one. It's just, it involves like hell. And then there's like this woman made of terracotta. It's really hard to explain, but there's like 50 pages, so I really just read it for yourself. It's Tell me what you think because I have so many questions. And then I have Fireheart Tiger by Aliette de Bodard, who is French Vietnamese. This one I don't remember much. All I know is that it is on my high priority shelf and I really want to read it, and it's a novella, and I've heard like a bunch of other booktubers talk about it, but I'm not going to watch any video until I read it for myself. Number 3 is read any book written by an Asian author in your favorite genre. For this one, I have Confessions by Kanae Minato, who is Japanese, and this one is a thriller, a psychological thriller. And I will also be reading this one for the 72frightathon. Basically, it's about this teacher whose daughter, I think, died and her students killed her. So this teacher is out to seek revenge. And then for the third prompt, I also have The Vegetarian by Han Kang, who is Korean. And this book I will also be reading for the 72frightathon. This is a horror novella, I think, where this woman goes on a vegetarian diet. It sounds intriguing and I might actually pick this up soon. Number 4 is read any non-fiction book written by an Asian author. For that, I have Modern Romance by Aziz Anzari, who is Indian. He is the popular comedian. If you don't know, he's really funny. He is hilarious without being offensive in any way. One of the common misconceptions about this book is that it's a non-fiction book written by Aziz Ansari about his own love life, but no, it's a collaboration he did with these top university researchers, I think, about modern day romance, and it's just a book written with his humor, and I am honestly really excited to read this. I'm glad I found this on my to-read shelf because I almost forgot about this and now I gotta read it. The next book for nonfiction, because it's also Mental Health Awareness Month, I made sure to incorporate some mental health books written by Asian authors on this list. So for this one, I'm also going to be reading The Collected Schizophrenias by Esme Wei Jun Wang, who is Taiwanese. This book is basically combating the stigma and misconceptions about schizophrenia and her life with a mental disorder as an Asian. Number 5 is read any book written by an Asian author that's not US-centric. For this one, I have Midnights in Bali by Carla de Guzman, who is Filipino, and this book is set in Bali. For the most part, it's set in Bali. At the beginning, it's set in the Philippines, but like she goes to Bali. I've actually already finished this, I think, yesterday or the other day. So yeah, I've already ticked off that prompt. The next book I have for this prompt is The Henna Wars by Adiba Giudar, who is Bangladeshi Irish, and the book is set in Ireland. It's about two competing businesses. Like the school holds this like business thing, and then two students, one of them Muslim and lesbian, set up this henna service, and then the other one copied it. I don't know. That's all I know about it. Now I have like 5 other books that are like just random, and I might read if I won't be reading some of the books on my original Asian Readathon Tbr. I can just like mix and match and exchange and like, you know. The next book I hope to read this month is Girls of Storm and Shadow by Natasha Nyan, who is Malaysian. It is the second book in the Girls of Paper and Fire series, and I buddy reading this series with my best friend, and hopefully we can actually get to it this month. I feel like I've talked about this book so much on my channel, but I have never gotten around to like reading the second book because there's just no time. Our schedules just do not coincide. So, but it's about these paper girls who are the king's concubines, and there's a forbidden queer romance between 2 of the king's concubines. The next book I want to read is, well, you can consider it a mental health book in the sense that it will deteriorate your mental health. And that's A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara, who is Japanese. I don't even know much about it. I just know it follows like 4 college students, and they go through some pretty horrifying shit. Everyone who's read it ended up crying. And I rarely cry in books, and I hope to cry with this one. And they always say that you have to have like the right headspace to read this book. And personally, I'm always in the right headspace to read angst. I'm just really intimidated to read it, not because it's super sad, but because it is a little thick. And thick books intimidate me more than heartbreaking books. Like, I am always in the mood for heartbreak, but this book is a little chunky, so I'm like, And then I have the subtweet by Vivek Shraya, who is South Asian and transgender. I don't know her exact ethnicity because when I researched, there wasn't. It just says that she's South Asian. But basically, this one is a little different from like the ones I usually read. And I'm really excited about this one because it's more about friendship. And that is the only thing I needed to know. Next, I have just two more books. Two more books, I swear. It's really difficult being a mood reader because like sometimes I want to read something on this list and then in the end, watch me read nothing from this TBR. There's like 15 books and watch me read nothing. The next book I have is Shine by Jessica Jung. I really need to get to this because Bright, the sequel, is coming out later this year. And I might do a reading vlog for Shine because I am a fan of Girls' Generation and a huge fan of Jessica. So I really want to see what she will bring to the author table. This is YA contemporary about like a trainee aspiring to become a K-pop star and her romance with like the agency's golden boy. Hopefully Jessica spills some tea in this book because that is one of the main reasons I want to read it. Finally, we have The Surprising Power of a Good Dumpling by Chim, who is Chinese. This one I think is also a book that discusses mental health. I think the main character's mom is suffering from a mental disorder. That's all I know. They didn't really like specify anything in the summary, but I really want to read this too. I feel like this TBR is like a billion hours long. I don't know how I'm going to edit it. I didn't even have like a guide except for my list of books with like the ethnicities in parentheses. I don't even know how I remembered some of the plots for this one. For the Stan Asian Authors Readathon, I'm pretty sure some of these books are going to fit into the prompts, so I have no problems with that. Hopefully. All the details for the readathons I will be linking down below. All the announcement videos, all the moderators' Twitter accounts, yes, down below in the description if you want to join. But yes, this has been a messy video and I am so sorry. I feel like it's the heat. The heat is getting to me. It is super fucking hot here in the Philippines right now. It's like 40 degrees, I think. And every time I wake up in like a cold sweat because I feel like I'm dying. And every day I have a fucking migraine. My head is just throbbing from the heat and I feel like I'm always dehydrated, you know? So to everyone who lives in this tropical zone, remember to drink lots of water, stay hydrated, and if you're going out, wear a mask. But that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video even though it is a mess. I hope you found some recommendations as well for books to read in any of these readathons. And I will see you in my next one. Goodbye!